Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is Live, aka the best Fallout 76 YouTuber in the world. So today I will be talking about the update Bethesda dropped on their PTS. What is happening, they are removing these special bonuses from Under Armour, and those mods will now only give you bonus damage resistance, and those special stats are going to be moved to a new mod slot. So these new mod slots are going to give you kind of the freedom to use whatever Under Armour you want to use, and you just got to put that mod on that Under Armour. So good changes overall. I'm happy with that. Another big change is that things like the Troubleshooters mod for your armor, where it gives you minus 15% damage from robots, will now be multiplicative with each other instead of additive, so that is very strong. Moving on to the default legendary mods and unique items. So unique items like Last Bastion, which is a chest piece you get from doing like campaign missions and quests, those unique items will now have their effects overhauled and they will be made into 3-star legendary items. So, for example, Last Bastion, it is a chest piece that gives you plus 5% accuracy for your guns, and that's it. Now, it's going to give you bolstering, luck, durability, and the unique effect will increase your accuracy up to 35% as health decreases, and it will drop from Enclave activities. So, very good that they're going back and showing love to these armor pieces that have pretty much been forgotten. Trail Warden, this one's getting a pretty cool effect of plus 50% throwing weapon damage. So if you use that build I posted not too long ago, you can combine this with my legendary inheritance build for throwing items, so you can have plus 50% damage from throwing weapons on top of something like reverse onslaught or bloodied on your throwing weapons. And you can use hat trick, and get even more damage from these things. So pretty cool effect. I'm gonna find a way to make a build with this. Power Armor got a strange nerf, I believe. Equipped Power Armor now retains 100% of its weight, and equipped Power Armor that is broken no longer has reduced weight, and the Power Armor chassis weight is now derived from its contents. So that sucks. I'm not sure why they're doing this, but yep, that's what they're doing. Radiation, so Power Armor will not make you immune to radiation anymore. You will have to actually use Power Armor and a Rad-X, or Power Armor with a radiation suit with a Rad-X to get the most survivability in these intense amounts of radiation. So maybe this will make radiation actually a stat that you should build into, because currently it's not. If you have 1,000 radiation resistance just from radiation resistant sources like foods or chems or perks, it will not equal the same amount as like a regular hazmat suit, even if you have more resistance than the hazmat suit has, because I guess they're just coded differently. So this maybe will change that. I'm not sure. If it does, it'll make it a stat actually worth building into. Legendary mods. So Overeaters got completely dookied on. It lost 2% reduction per piece, so it's going from 6% to 4%. Yeah, I think Overeaters is now in the grave. They've kind of made this an irrelevant effect, especially when you compare it to mutants, which now gives you plus 5% damage reduction when you have more than 3 mutations, which 99% of the player base does. So you don't have to do anything extra, you don't have to watch your food meters or anything, so it's just an easier effect to maintain, and it's just better. Alright, so yeah, mutants is definitely my new #1 effect for something like a full health build, but we'll talk about that later. Bolstering has been changed to give you plus 10% reduction when your HP is lower than 5%. So at 5% HP, you get plus 10% reduction per piece. That's very low. So I mean, if you can get to like 19% HP and still be higher than mutants, then that would still be better than running mutants. So if you want to do like a low health tanky build on your power armor or other armor, then you would have to do this if it does equal to be higher than 5% at 19%, because I'm not sure it's going to be at 19%. Vanguard, on the other hand, is the same thing, up to 10% damage reduction based on max HP. 1000 HP is at 10%. I don't know how the hell you're going to get to 1000 HP. If you know how to do that, let me know down in the comments. I could think of things like boosting your endurance stat through the roof and then putting on Life Giver, but even then, I don't know if that's going to equal out to 1000. Aristocrats is going to give you plus 10% damage reflection based on your caps. 40k equals 10%. This could be pretty good, especially if you combine it with the 4-star legendary mod on your power armor, reflective one, and ricochet. This might make you immortal. Like, this may make you a god, I'm not sure. Elementalist has been increased from +5 to +25 for all. Warming, fireproof, hazmat, poisoners going from +25 to +50, so that's good. But with all the new ways you can build into all these different elemental resistances, maybe it's not as needed anymore. Defenders will give you a 40% chance to automatically block an attack, which is pretty good. Lightweight is now being changed to be on armor and power armor, and it's being reduced from, or it reduces item weights by 50%, which I thought before it did 90%. I could be wrong. Weightless renamed to heavyweight. This mod now grants up to 10% damage reduction the closer you are to 100% carry weight. So this could be very good for a situation like a boss fight or a raid, where you can just automatically make yourself like at the cap for carry weight because you're only doing one thing. You're not actively going out and getting loot. So it's not as much of a hindrance to be at 100% carry weight. So that could be better than mutants, but it's definitely not an everyday thing. Legendary perks no longer cost perk coins on equip. Thank you, Bethesda. I don't know why they ever did. Fireproof is now going to be renamed to Hardy, and it's losing its fire damage reduction. I don't know why they're doing this. It seems like an irrelevant change. I know you can build into other sources of fire resistance, but it just seems kind of like an unnecessary nerf in my opinion. Some enemies are becoming weaker. They're not going to do much damage or as much damage to you. So something like a raid boss or probably like Earl Williams are going to do less damage to you. I don't know why they're nerfing them, because I feel like we're getting tankier. So I don't know why you're making the enemies weaker as we're getting tankier. It seems like you would want to do the opposite, but I'm not sure. They're adjusting some of the enemies' elemental damage to account for us having more resistances. So maybe things are going to balance out. I'm not sure. All cursed weapons can be modified in legendary crafting now. This is huge. So if you have any of those cursed weapons, I mean, I'm thinking things like the ones that drop from Earl Williams, maybe. And they're increasing our movement cap speed from 120% to 150%. That's pretty big. I always like moving faster, more quality of life, get things done quicker. Always good. Ultra Genetic Mole Mine Stalker. That's the guy that one-shots you on the drill encounter, and I think the fourth encounter of the raid. He will not one-shot you anymore. Instead, he will do a large amount of physical damage and inflict a deadly bleed instead of a killing blow. So they nerfed the Genetic Mole Mine Stalker. I don't know why they felt the need to do this. I guess it was kind of annoying, and maybe it was a gatekeeping thing for the second encounter of the raid. People didn't want to do the second encounter of the raid because they kept getting one-shotted by the mole miner in the tunnels. I mean, it's kind of hard to avoid, but is it a skill gap? Is it a skill check kind of thing? Maybe. But he got nerfed. At the end of the day, who really cares? And players will now have 90% damage reduction against their own attacks. So I guess you're going to be seeing a lot more fat mans in your lobbies. So all in all, what do I think of these changes? So I think these changes are, and they're generally good for the game. Under Armour changes, I'm very happy about those, although I'm not pleased that I have to go back and farm mods that I probably already would have. Like if I had the Shielded Raider Under Armour, I feel like they should just unlock this for me already, but something to chase, I guess. And then these armor effects being made actually decent on the default legendaries. I'm okay with this because those are kind of trash right now, but if they're making them actually viable, maybe they might be worth using. So all in all, some good changes, some strange ones, and some ones I don't agree with in here, but I'd give it a 80% on the live scale of approval. Good changes overall, in my opinion.